Welcome to this explainer. Look, today we're going to talk about a really tough pill to swallow. Why being the quote-unquote perfect person is actually a massive form of self-betrayal. And more importantly, we'll see how literally everything changes, from your own internal peace to your external power, the absolute second you stop carrying around the weight of everyone else's expectations. Let's get right into it.
So, have you ever walked home after a dinner with friends or maybe a long day at the office and felt like you've just run a full marathon, even though, you were just sitting in a chair the whole time? It's that highly specific, completely hollow exhaustion that sleep just can't seem to fix. That feeling right there, it's a massive red flag. It signals that something much deeper is draining you, this invisible weight you're carrying through literally every single interaction. Section 1. The hollow exhaustion. Okay, so if you felt that specific exhaustion we just talked about, you're likely suffering from something the psychologist Carl Jung called maximum adaptation and minimum access. Basically, you've become perfectly readable, highly palatable, and so completely safe for everyone else around you. But, and here's the tragic trade-off, in doing so, you've become a total stranger to your own true self. You've adapted so much that you've literally lost access to you. Section 2. The mask you became. To understand how we actually got here, we have to talk about the persona. Jung described this as the mask we wear to navigate the social world. And it's not necessarily a bad thing at first, it's a functional adaptation. For a lot of us, it was built in childhood as an absolute brute necessity just to survive and keep the peace. You learned pretty early on that when you were the easy child or the quiet one, the air in the room felt a bit lighter and love was just more available. It's that exact same emotional monitoring system that makes you snap into being hyper-professional the exact second you open your laptop today. But here is where the problem starts. This survival tactic, it metastasizes. The real danger kicks in when the mask stops being something you just put on and starts being something you actually are. You start editing yourself in real time. You constantly scan the room, you figure out exactly what people need you to be in that moment, and you morph into it. You do this until your actual, genuine identity is just completely swallowed whole by the performance.
Section 3. The cost of perfection.
And man, the high price of living this perfect life is incredibly heavy. It means you are constantly absorbing everyone else's expectations instead of ever expressing your own truth. Every single time you swallow what you actually want to say just to appease someone else, you deposit another thick layer of distance between your soul and your performance. And you know what happens? It eventually surfaces as this strange, buzzing irritability, or even a trapped rage that has absolutely nowhere to go because, well, expressing anger would completely shatter that carefully constructed, nice person image you've built. Which brings us to what I think is the ultimate tragedy of the people pleaser. Read this quote: "You can never truly be loved. Only your performance is being loved." Think about that for a second. Your friends, your colleagues, maybe even your partner, they aren't interacting with you. They're interacting with an avatar, a version of you that doesn't actually exist.
Section 4. The power of silence.
Now, this is where the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche and his concept of the Ubermensch, or the overman, step in to offer a much sharper, more intelligent path forward. While Jung helps us find our internal center, Nietzsche shows us how to actually project that strength outward into the world. Now, most people believe that power is about speaking the loudest, right? Winning the argument. But Nietzsche knew something crucial. The reactive mind is a subjugated mind. The very moment you feel the desperate need to justify yourself to someone else, you've already entered their theater. You've already lost. So what's the alternative? True power is actually found in strategic silence. Imagine a situation where someone is trying to provoke you or manipulate you. Instead of giving them that automatic, predictable response they want, you just choose unavailability. You become a total mystery. Nietzsche argued that silence is this overwhelming presence that completely disconcerts and destabilizes people. It acts like a giant mirror. When you just stop reacting, you force the other person to sit there and confront their own noise and their own insecurities. By simply refusing to react, you instantly reclaim your autonomy. It's like flipping a switch. You move from being a predictable, statistical cog in their little narrative to suddenly becoming the gravitational center of the entire room. You completely shift the power dynamic of any space you walk into, literally without saying a single word. Section 5. Designing your boundaries.
But how do we actually make this change stick? Well, as the author James Clear explains, you can't just rely on sheer willpower to stop people-pleasing. Why? Because your brain naturally wants the path of least resistance. It is biologically hardwired for cognitive ease to keep you safe and accepted by the tribe. So we have to use something called choice architecture. You actually have to design an environment for yourself that makes your boundaries inevitable, basically bypassing that old biological programming completely. To do this, you have to implement habit stacking. It's a simple 3-step flow. Step 1, the trigger. Someone asks you for a favor. Step 2, and this is the absolute game changer, you explicitly pause for 5 seconds. Do nothing for 5 seconds. That pause, that is exactly where your internal authority is born. It gives you the space you need for step 3, the clean no. That's a firm no that comes from somewhere deep and solid inside of you, and it requires absolutely no rambling 3-paragraph explanation. Just a clean no.
Section 6, the terrifying leap. Now, making this transition from a false life to an authentic one is what we call the terrifying leap. And I'm going to be honest with you, it is not going to be comfortable. When you start doing this, you will inevitably lose people. You will lose the people who only kept you around because you were highly useful to them. But as Jung observed, this loss is a highly necessary filter. It's how you find out who actually has a genuine affinity for the real you. You have to realize right now that no one is coming to rescue you from your mask. You are the one maintaining the lock on your own cage.
But here is the absolute wildest part. The door was never actually locked. The hardest truth to accept is that you are the only one holding yourself hostage to the expectations of everyone else, which means you have the absolute power to just walk out right now.
So, I want you to make a symbolic declaration right now to seal this commitment to yourself. Go down to the comments below and type this exact phrase. I choose the silence that commands respect. Seriously, writing it down is way more than just venting. It is a physical invocation of your brand new identity.
And hey, do not stop your journey right here. Our next explainer is absolutely essential because it's going to show you exactly how to integrate your shadow permanently so you never, ever have to betray yourself again. Until then, I want to leave you with this one question to ponder tonight. If you are entirely made up of the expectations of others, who is actually living your life? Think about that. I'll see you next time.